It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. We have 3 vendors with all new wares. Let's see what they have. We're going to start off in the Scholarium, see what scripts he has. First up, we have Bound Affix Script Defile. Adds Defile, a debuff reducing healing received. Bound Affix Script Protection. Adds Protection, a buff reducing damage taken. Bound Focus Script Multi-Target. Adds a multi-target hit. And Bound Signature Script Crusader's Defiance. Adds removal of debilitating effects. All right, let's head over to Imperial City and see what the Telvar Merchant has. Okay, let's talk to Here's the Stone now that we're in Imperial Sewers.
Keep throwing.
First up, we have a Reaper's March treasure map. Reaper's March brings us Cinch's Bite, Skooma Smuggler, and Soulshine. When we dig up a map, we also have a chance for leads for the Ancestral High Elf legs or shields. It's not super exciting, certainly not for 6,000 Telvar. I'm skipping that. Our scripts, Bound Affix Script Magicka Steel adds Magicka Steel, a debuff granting Magicka Restoration to attackers. Bound Focus Script Shock Damage adds shock damage. Bound Signature Script Wayfarer's Mastery adds improved functionality of skill line passives. Our fragment this week is Fragment of the Winterborn. This is for the Silver Bolt's Vibrant Yellow skill style and drops from the final boss of Spindle Clutch 2. Remember, these are a guaranteed drop, so if you run dungeons at all, you can get this on normal. Just either queue up in the Dungeon Finder or the Group Finder, or just grab some friends. Spindle Clutch 2 is not too terrible, especially in normal. Our leads this week, first up is Band of Water, which is for Ring of the Wild Hunt. This one drops out of the public dungeon Badman's Hollow in Glenumbra and drops off of bosses. Remember, the Pale Order Ring also has a lead that drops out of Badman's Hollow off of mobs. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 if you still need both of those. But if you really need this one, it is here for 25,000 Telvar. Next lead, Ruin Blood Coil. This is for Mark and Ring of Majesty and drops off of final boss in either Banished Cells 1 or 2. You have a couple opportunities for that one. Again, not super difficult. We have Necklace and Ring of Endurance, as well as the Rallying Cry Amulet and Ring. All right, time to head over to Infinite Archive. All right, I'm now here with Filer Ool in Infinite Archive. Let's see what he has.
Amor.
First up, we have Stormhaven treasure maps. Again, not too exciting. Stormhaven brings us Dreamer's Mantle, Night Terror, and Storm Knight's Plate. You also have a chance when you dig up the map of getting leads for the Ancestral Orc boots or maces motifs. Again, nothing super exciting. I'm skipping this for 2,000 archival fortunes. Our scripts, Bound Affix Script Savagery and Prophecy adds Savagery and Prophecy buffs increasing weapon and spell critical chance. Bound Focus Script Flame Damage adds flame damage. Bound Signature Script Thief Swiftness adds improvement to your mobility. And next up we have our Bound Style page, Valken Scoria's Shoulder. There we go. Valken Scoria is, of course, City of Ash 2, but the shoulders are much easier to get than the mask. You just use keys to get them from the Undaunted Pledge Giver. So I typically skip shoulders, but if you're working on your collection, 15,000 archival fortunes isn't horrible. Next up, Companion Equipment Jewelry. I usually say this is a better buy for companions than your other options of armor, because jewelry, you have a decent chance with RNG of getting a trait that you can use, but remember that these are bound, so it is a little bit of RNG. Fragment of the Thorn. This one is for the Silverbolt's Vibrant Yellow skill style, again, just like we saw in the sewers. However, this one drops from the final boss of Castle Thorn. Remember, again, it is a guaranteed drop, but if you'd prefer not to run Castle Thorn, it is available here for 5,000 archival fortunes. Our first lead is Bespoke Mirror-Etched Base. This one is for the Music Box Lament for the Path Not Taken. And this one drops from Mirrormore Incursions. I don't think this one's too terrible to get, but if you need it, it's here for 5,000 archival fortunes. But remember, you're not going to be able to get it if you don't have Westweald or if you don't have Gold Road. So don't get too excited if that's something you're hoping to bypass. Lead Torque Strand of Power. This one, of course, is for the Torque of Tonal Constancy and drops from Deshawn World Bosses. Scaly Cloth Scrap. A fragment of cloth embedded with scales. If you collect 50 of these, you can create a Thrafty debutante gown. If 50 of these at 4,000 a piece, it'd be pretty hefty. They have improved the drop rate in general of fragments that come from public dungeons. This one comes from the Silent Halls public dungeon in Blackwood. Again, you'll need Blackwood in order to buy this. But let's take a look at the gown. Here is the Thrafty debutante gown, just what every debutante in Tamriel wears, I guess. Unreliable Archive Map. Consume 20 Unreliable Archive Maps to unlock the Peer into the Mirror Maze achievement and the Shattered Mirror Maze face marks. Here are the Shattered Mirror Maze face marks. Again, since you need 20 of these and there's 7,000 archival fortunes apiece, I don't think it's worth it. Plus, these are guaranteed to drop at a certain point if you do enough of the Infinite Archive dailies. So I'm personally going to skip this one. All right, our books. We have The Littlest Tome Shell. Fairly basic looking book, but a great title for some housing options, especially if you're doing a kid's room or something. This one drops out of Infinite Archive, and the Eidetic Memory comes out of Apocrypha. And then a smaller book here, Visitor's Guide, Telvanni Peninsula, also drops out of Infinite Archive, and the book is found in Telvanni Peninsula. It is in a book stack in Drothgreth's house. All right. Next up, we're going to run a couple arcs of Infinite Archive to see what new gear drops. Every week we have new gear from Overland and from DLC Overland. And again, it changes on Tuesday mornings, just like the vendor. Scaly Scrap Scintillate seductively in Somerset Soirees. Scaly Scrap Scintillate seductively in Somerset Soirees. Scaly Scrap Scintillate seductively in Somerset Soirees. And we just ran 2 arcs of Infinite Archive, and it looks like we have gear dropping from Stormhaven. Again, that is Dreamer's Mantle, Night Terror, and Storm Knight's Plate. And then also from the Deadlands. That's Eye of the Grasp, Hexos' Ward, and Kind Marcher's Cruelty. That is going to do it for this week. We'll see you in the next one.